Yo, how's it going everybody, Mitchell here. So in the last couple of months I've read more manga than I ever have. But one particular manga that I came across recently really captivated me and drew me in with its unique premise. That manga series is called The Duke of Death and its Black Maid, also known as Shinigami-chan Tokuromeiro. If it isn't obvious, I don't know Japanese, so I probably butchered that, but anyway. The Duke of Death and his Black Maid is a comedy romance manga. And of all the rom-com manga that I've read or watched this far, which are quite a lot, this one is my favorite premise of all of them. The plot is actually really simple and easy to understand. It's about Bochan, a guy with black, short, messy hair, and the duke of a wealthy family. He was a fairly normal, outgoing kid, playing outside with his friends and just being a normal kid in general. That is, until at the young age of 5 he gets cursed by a witch of unknown origin and gained the unwanted ability to instantly kill anything and anyone he touches. Therefore you can't touch him and he can't touch anybody, because if he does, they die. Because of this unwanted curse he gets shunned by his family and friends, loses his position as the next family head, and gets sent to a separate estate isolated from everyone he knows, with only a single servant Rob working there. Before being cursed, the witch told him to show her a miserable life, which he was unsurprisingly already living after being isolated. He was severely depressed to the point of wanting to die, and he was a total mess. But that all changes after a girl called Alice, a girl he's known since childhood, gets employed in the separate estate as a maid. You get it? That's where the title comes from. But there is something about Alice besides being absolute best girl material. Alice absolutely loves to tease the Duke, often exposing parts of her body or saying embarrassing things to the Duke to get a reaction out of him. However, it's way more wholesome than you might think at first, because she does all these things to take the Duke's mind off of everything and to make him feel what she considers to be normal. However, she does genuinely care about the Duke and literally loves the guy. And unlike most people, does not show any signs of being afraid of him in the slightest, despite what his curse causes. She often tries to get as close as possible to the Duke, to the point that I almost started thinking if death fetish was really a thing. Fortunately, I checked and it isn't a thing, so rest assured. The Duke is a very timid and noble person. He genuinely cares about the people around him and tries his absolute hardest not to touch anyone or bring harm to anyone. But as I've already explained earlier in the video, this isn't always that easy for him, as his mate Alice finds absolute joy out of teasing the shit out of this man and coming as close to him as possible. It already gets clear in the first couple of chapters that they have feelings for each other and that they are not afraid at all to show it. And I absolutely adore their dynamic together. Just the stoic expression of Alice combined with the hilarious reactions of the Duke are just absolutely great and never gets old. The characters are definitely what I like most in this manga, and it shows how far they've come compared to the first couple of chapters. Especially the Duke has come a long way after meeting Alice for the first time. Of course, Alice and the Duke are not the only great characters. Later on in the story we are introduced to more great characters that all get their own character development and growth, and add to the dynamic of the show. And the things about the magical world they live in and the Duke's curse becomes more clear as they try their best to break his curse. Because that's ultimately the goal of Alice and the Duke, it's to break his curse. This manga is also currently getting adapted into an anime. That's how I initially found this hidden gem of a manga. But unfortunately I've not seen a lot of people talking about it, let alone read or watch it. So I hope that some of you will give it a chance, because it's a great manga that you should definitely give a shot. It currently has a little over 190 chapters with about 10 to 12 pages per chapter, so it's relatively easy to read. But for me it only needed about 10 to 20 chapters to hook me on this story. And oh man, did it hook me good, because I'm absolutely loving the shit out of this manga. Another thing that I'd like to point out is the voice acting work from the anime. I haven't watched it yet as I'm waiting for it to finish airing, but just listen to the voice of the Duke and Alice. They just have such a nice dynamic together, especially in the opening theme. Here, I'll just show you my live reaction. Oh man, this is fucking great. Artwork wise, it doesn't look that different from other comedy romance manga like Kaguya-sama or Komi Can't Communicate. Although I love the aesthetics and the themes of death. And the clothing they wear are really appropriate for this series and fit the mood very well. I also really like the colored pages at the start of some chapters, and I think they look really cool. And that's all I really have to say about this manga series for now, as I don't want to dive deeper into spoiler territory. So if you want to know more, I recommend you give this manga a shot yourself, because it's an absolutely great manga. And if you like your comedy romance, you will definitely not regret reading this. But anyway, I want to thank y'all for watching this video. Since my last video on Onani Master Kurosawa, I've tried my best to improve my writing skills and scripts, so I hope it shows. I read all comments by the way, so feedback is appreciated if you have some for me. And again, thank you for watching and I hope to see y'all next week.